And so you're here at the Rio+20 summit. Why does Puma feel it necessary to be here? What do you gain from it? And what can you give to the conference?
Well, first of all, I think it's a great venue to meet people that would take probably a month to meet in different locations. So I think it's a platform to meet, share the latest ideas, the latest developments, as well as, of course, being a great platform to communicate messages that we think are important, whether it's in the role of a CEO or a Chief Sustainability Officer, or as a representative of a foundation that is conservation-based. And we have a few things to talk about here, in particular the EP&L, the environmental profit and loss statement that we created for Puma, that we are now taking throughout PPR among 21 brands in the next 4 years, which is basically a means to internalize and visualize externalities that business has not accounted for in the past.
Could you explain a little more detail what that means, the environmental profit and loss initiative? What does that mean on the ground? What does it mean as far as the sustainability of your company is affected?
Well, I believe sustainability needs to start with total transparency, and what we've done is we've looked at the entire supply chain, all the way from raw material production to processing, manufacturing, to selling, and to our end consumer. And we said, okay, so what is the environmental impact that our business has? Not just our own operations, but everything we ultimately influence or are indirectly or directly responsible for throughout the entire supply chain. And the environmental profit and loss statement basically puts a monetary value on externalities, such as land use, waste, pollution, carbon, emission and water, and through these 5 factors we've actually evaluated and monetized into an EP&L. And the EP&L for Puma, as an example, is 145 million euros, meaning that our environmental impact as a company can be valued at 145 million. And through this transparency we can now direct our businesses, how we create products, how we manufacture, what raw materials to use to ultimately start mitigating and reducing that footprint. And that's one of the messages that I believe is very important, that we start visualizing and monetizing those externalities in order to take them into account in the way we do business.
I mean, at what stage is your company at as far as the learning curve goes? Are you still at the beginning of the learning curve, when we're talking about sustainability? Are you pretty much there and you're implementing the policies? I mean, where are we at? Is there still a lot more to learn?
Well, I mean, our goal is clearly to be a leader, and that's why we developed the EP&L. We believe that corporations have tremendous power and opportunity to actually be part of a systemic change that needs to happen in order to make business more sustainable from an economic, social and environmental point of view. So we want to be the driver, but in reality we all have to recognize that doing business is about doing less harm. Very few businesses can truly call themselves sustainable, meaning having either no impact or positive impact on the environment or on society. And what we are trying to do is to really understand where our impacts are and start working for solutions. So I believe we are, at a tipping point where sustainability becomes a day-to-day decision making throughout the organization. It's not just a department that thinks now we have sustainably, but it's something that is going to be ingrained into the DNA of the various brands that are part of our portfolio, and it's something that is part of day-to-day decision making.
That's lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks.